Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. But what I'm going to talk about pertains to any crypto that you're holding, not just XRP. All crypto. So I got my CP 504 form from the IRS on crypto. I never even sold back in 2021. I should have worded that a little bit different. I sold XRP above $1 and bought back in under $1. I never cashed out any of the money to my bank account, but it was a taxable event. Uphold sent everything to the IRS. The original amount I owed was $53,000. After over a year of arguing, I got left with $1,746. You see it right here. And everybody right away on X said, I wouldn't pay that. Well, I'm a business owner. I also own my house, and I don't need any liens from the IRS. And, you know, I felt that this was in the wrong. First of all, I don't think you should be taxed on money that never went to fiat. But the rules have changed. And I'm telling you right now, if you owe money to the IRS, your crypto is on the exchanges, you better get it off of there. They look at crypto as an asset, so they will seize it eventually. And I'm sure Uphold and Coinbase and other exchanges will help the IRS in seizing your assets. But you know, the rules are changing all the time around crypto. And the reason I got a CP 504 form is because they were ready to start putting liens on me and start seizing my bank accounts. They wouldn't have got much out of the bank account because I don't trust the banks and all my money's in crypto. But I wanted to take care of this right away. And, you know, it took me over 3 months to get the losses from Uphold. They were not helpful at all early on. But finally, I got the losses. And I keep track of all the crypto that I buy. The day I buy it, and I get a bank statement to show that the money came from the bank and went to Uphold, went to MEXC, went to Coinbase. This way, I have a record on the day that I bought that crypto, because I don't trust the exchanges in their reporting either. Ready for crypto taxes in 2025. Understand how the IRS taxes crypto and discover how to lower your tax burden. You could find this on Coin Bureau's website as well. So first of all, let's talk about what capital gains is. It's when you cash out your crypto. But now it also covers when you're buying things with your crypto. Say you're using the Uphold card and it's attached to your XRP or XLM or any other crypto you hold. Even though you're out there spending that crypto on the card, that's still a taxable event. So in recent years, the US IRS has ramped up its focus on digital assets. Whether you're paying in Bitcoin, trading altcoins, earning through staking, or diving into DeFi, each transaction could trigger capital gains or income tax. And figuring out these tax implications can feel overwhelming. So capital gains, there's short-term and long-term. Short-term capital gains is if you held the asset for less than a year. These gains are taxed at your ordinary income tax rate, ranging from 10% to 37%, depending on your income bracket. Long-term capital gains applies if you held the asset for more than a year. These are taxed at significantly lower rates, either 0%, 15%, or 20%. Which transactions can trigger capital gains? Selling cryptocurrency for fiat, USD, and so on. trading one cryptocurrency for another, such as swapping Bitcoin for ETH, XRP for XLM, XLM for XRP, using crypto to purchase goods or services, such as buying a car or paying for online subscriptions. Now, one thing I want to tell you is this. When you sell XRP at one price to buy back in at a lower price, that also starts the clock once again on short-term capital gains. And then that year starts over is what I'm saying. But then they go on to talk about staking and things like that. These are all the things you need to know as a crypto investor here in the United States. I'm sure the UK also has very similar laws and so on. But I wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of people on X keep saying the same thing. If I buy things with the Uphold card, that doesn't mean I have to pay taxes, or I could avoid taxes by paying with the Uphold card. Uphold is keeping track of all your transactions. Any exchange out there that does KYC and AML, anti-money laundering, they are reporting to the IRS. IRS uses AI to spy on American citizens. They also told me when I went through this whole thing with them for over a year that they use AI to track a lot of the transactions as well, even if they're coming from exchanges that don't do KYC. And they will eventually figure out where those transactions are coming from. So you can't hide behind exchanges that don't do KYC, AML as well. They've amped up a lot of things at the IRS is what I'm telling you. And a lot of people would argue that we need the IRS or the government will fall apart. Well, Molly Elmore put out a great post on this. Can governments fund necessary infrastructure without taxation of any kind? Yes, the same way that businesses and investments generate cash flow for shareholders. And she did a whole thread on this, how for-profit government can easily do away with taxation. Honestly, I hope Trump gets in and I hope he says, that's it, we're not going to pay capital gains anymore, because it's very complicated. And you got to make sure you're always keeping up with the laws around taxes. If Harris gets in and she comes up with that unrealized capital gains tax, and if that gets passed here in the United States, we are all screwed as crypto investors. Anyone that owns a house is screwed because a house gains value over time, and you're going to be on the hook for taxes year over year. You're going to be paying taxes forever just to get caught up. And I think that all leads us down the path of you will own nothing and you will be happy. I don't like taxes at all. I look at it as theft. And I paid the $1,700 and change. And I know that money's going to get sent overseas. And then it's going to get money laundered. We see it happening time and time again. And, you know, the worst part of it is this. When you pay the taxes, you wouldn't mind if it helped people in this country. Like, look what happened with North Carolina and Florida. I would love to see my tax dollars go and help those people out. But every time you turn around, the people in the United States get screwed. The same people paying into the system get screwed, while other countries push ahead. And that's the worst part of it. The next SEC chair should withdraw all frivolous cases and issue an apology to the American people. It would not undo the damage done to the country, but it would start the process of restoring trust in the SEC as an institution. This comes from Brian Armstrong. You know, the SEC is another agency that is not helping the retail investor. You know, people are victims of rug pulls every single day, scams every single day. There was celebrity coins, meme coins throughout the first part of 2024. People lost a shit ton of money and the SEC did nothing. This is another agency we could do without here in the United States. And while we're at it, get rid of the Fed as well. 2,430% surge, while central bank digital currencies are set to explode. You know, I keep seeing people saying that CBDCs are losing momentum. The fact of the matter is this: as of September, 134 countries and currency unions, representing 98% of global GDP, are exploring central bank digital currencies, a significant rise from 35 in May of 2020, according to the Atlantic Council. Currently, 66 countries are in advanced stages, development, pilot, or launch, with every G20 country participating. The US is also participating in this. And this is something else. CBDC, what's going to happen with this, and I'm not a fan of CBDC, it's programmable money. And anytime a transaction takes place, the IRS is going to play middleman in between CBDCs, in between the people transacting in CBDC. They're going to be collecting their tax money in real time. And you know, you're never going to be able to put money away for a rainy day. The IMF told us this. The BIS told us this. The World Economic Forum has told us this. You got to break away from the CBDC system. And that's the way I look at XRP, as our one shot to break away from CBDC. Because what's going to follow CBDC is digital ID and also UBI, Universal Basic Income. And once they come out with Universal Basic Income, they're going to be giving you money to live on a monthly basis. But you're not going to be able to buy the things you want to buy with that money. It's government money. And that's why it's going to expire over time. I'm going to keep beating the smart contract and Oracle drum till it takes hold. The current meme craze is what it is. This is a sleeping giant, though. A potential for the XRP ledger, RLUSD as well. What you say, okay, I'm not even reading the rest of that. So this comes from Toasty. So here's the use cases for smart contracts and oracles on the XRP ledger. Decentralized finance, automatic lending and borrowing. Oracles provide real-time price feeds for collateral valuation. Decentralized exchanges. Oracles ensure accurate price discovery and liquidity pools. This is going to lead to where we get passive income from our crypto. Real estate transactions. Automating property title transfer and escrow services with conditions based on real-world data like property inspections. You know, every single real estate transaction is going to take place on a blockchain in the very near future. Once tokenization of real estate really starts to pick up momentum, you are going to see every single title, every single deed recorded on blockchain. Supply chain management, ensuring payments upon delivery by verifying receipt of goods or quality checks through oracles. You know, the supply chain is still in need of a major upgrade. And I also think that is coming very soon as well. Digital trade is going to happen all throughout the world. Gaming and gambling. Secure, transparent, and fair execution of game rules or betting outcomes with real-world event data. You know, when it comes to gaming, it's going to go beyond gambling. People are going to get paid to play games in the future. They're most likely going to get paid in crypto. And this is also going to happen on the XRP ledger. Insurance, automatic claim processing when defined conditions are met. Weather data for flight delay insurance. There's going to be so many new insurance policies out there, and all of that is also going to be recorded on the blockchain. Layer 2 and 3 solutions, enhancing data availability and storage for partnerships with other blockchain networks like Arbitrum or Polygon. You know, eventually Bitcoin is going to be tokenized and it's going to end up on the XRP ledger as well. Anyone transacting in Bitcoin in the future, I see that happening over the XRP ledger and a few other networks. Tokenization of real-world assets, bringing real-world contractual agreements on-chain to generate yield or facilitate trading. When it comes to tokenization, I was always on board with tokenization. I think it's absolutely incredible. It'll allow people to invest in things that they normally could not invest in. You could invest in movies that are being made through tokenization. Then they started talking about tokenizing private property. I am not a fan of that at all. I want to see where this goes from here as far as private property. Sports betting, smart contracts that pay out based on sports results, feeds fed by oracles. Election betting or prediction markets. We see that as a major topic in the 2024 election. Betting on election results. People are saying they're going to sway it one way or another based on all the bets that have been made on the 2024 election. Identity verification. Using oracles to validate identities or KYC processes before executing certain smart contract functions. This is going to also lead down the road of digital ID. That's also going to be happening on the XRP ledger. And that was one other thing I found out from the IRS. They plan on issuing digital ID within the next 12 to 24 months. Right now, they make you go through a process called Real ID, but it puts you on the path to an actual digital ID. And I think they're going to want to be able to keep track of where you're working, things like that. I am not a fan of that at all either. Right now, it's still very early, but I see it going down a very dark road. And that's my opinion on that. But I wanted to cover the tax thing a lot in this video. Because when you're a victim of something like this, and you realize that things you do on the exchanges lead to a taxable event, you want to get your crypto off the exchanges, first of all. That's first and foremost. And I don't keep any crypto on Uphold at all. And after 2021, I will never go back to Uphold again. But it's not Uphold's fault. It's actually my fault for not realizing that that was a taxable event back in 2021. But back then, you didn't know the laws like you know them today. And there was no real clear rules back then either. There was talk here and there, but you really had to go and get a tax book and study the tax laws, which I should have done, but I didn't back then. So part of this is on me. But I just wanted to give you an idea on what you're looking at going forward. And definitely share in the comment section down below if you got one of these notices. Because I was really curious to know if other people went through what I went through so far. I know people in the very near future are going to be going through this because I see it all over X. People keep thinking that crypto is the wild, wild west, and those days are coming to an end. Once regulations are in place, the days of the wild, wild west will be over for good, because then everything will be compliant. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.